An all too common question asked during traffic stops won't be heard again in California. The state banned officers from asking drivers, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" So where does law enforcement ask that question? Why do they ask that question to begin with? And what's the best way to respond? Good question. Jeff Wagner got some legal advice to help you out.
Have you ever been pulled over before?
Sure have.
Like a driver's rite of passage.
One time that I actually was speeding.
Flashing lights will eventually find our rearview mirror.
What's that feeling you have when the officer's walking up to the car?
Little fear.
Police inherently make me nervous.
What is often a question that a police officer asks after pulling you over?
Do you know why I'm pulling you over?
What's the speed limit here? Do we know why we're here?
It's kind of that power dynamic that I think it scares some people.
Omid Berengian is a criminal defense attorney.
Why do law enforcement ask, "Do you know why I pulled you over?"
I think the most common reason is the officer wants to get you to admit guilt to some extent.
They're probably looking to get you to self-incriminate yourself.
If he's asking me a question, I'll answer him.
It's not so much what drivers say versus how they say it that's most telling.
They're checking out your demeanor, how you're acting. Are you fidgeting? Are you nervous? How is your speech? That, it's another common thing they look for. Is it slurred?
Sir, State Patrol, the reason I'm stopping you today is for speed. Do you know how fast you were going when you saw me back there?
The investigative tactic is virtually no longer allowed in California. Starting this year, officers must state the reason for the stop before asking questions. The goal is to promote transparency and limit pretext stops, like when someone gets pulled over for a busted taillight, only to have their car searched for other crimes.
How do you think that will make these interactions go?
Well, probably quicker.
I think they would be shorter and maybe a little safer all around.
Skipping that question isn't a luxury for drivers in Minnesota and Wisconsin.
You know why I stopped you today?
So how can they best answer it? First, Berengian says be respectful and civil.
Just like my mom taught me back in the day, treat people the way that you want to be treated.
Then keep your answers short, even using yes or no as a response.
Because the longer you go on, the more you say, the more there's opportunity to kind of poke holes and dive into things and go places where you may not want the officer asking questions.
Lastly,
you don't have to say anything that could self-incriminate.
The reason I'm stopping you is for speed today. Do you know how fast you were going?
Honesty, however,
If I did something wrong, I'll admit it.
could get you on an officer's good side.
Or at least give you a warning.
Fingers crossed.
With photojournalist Jose Pascual,
I'm just going to give you a warning today. I'm not going to give you a citation.
Jeff Wagner,
Take care. Have a safe day.
WCCO News.
Officers in California can still ask drivers that question if it's necessary to protect life or property from an imminent threat.